to episode number 1018 of Major Misconduct. I'm Scott Taylor.
Time flies.
I'm the Major. That's Curt, the guy who just spoke up. He's the Misconduct. We're live from the Salisbury House on Leela, as we always are, it seems, because this is quite a comfortable place. It's a lovely day. It's February in Manitoba, and that means there's snow on the ground. And
Don't say lovely.
But it is lovely.
Lovely's not a man's word.
Don't you feel like it's spring, though? Pitchers and catchers report this weekend.
I never liked it when Harry Neal used to refer to something as a lovely pass.
It's a lovely pass.
Okay,
go ahead. We didn't see many lovely passes the other night in Winnipeg against the Islanders, but that's segment 2 today. Segment 1 is titled Stop Whining. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers have lost 2 players for sure. Don Oramacion has signed with the Edmonton Eskimos, which I think is a big loss to the Blue Bombers because he was the guy who was tapped to replace Doug Brown at middle guard. The other guy they lost, and it was a surprise, was Greg Carr. Greg Carr got a better contract from Edmonton after it seems he had agreed with Joe Mack and the Blue Bombers, but he took the better deal, and off he went, and he's now an Edmonton Eskimo. And I think that really hurts the Blue Bombers. I think very, very seriously, because Greg Carr is a huge target. He's got great hands. He can run after he catches the ball. He'll now be catching passes from Stephen Giles and not from Buck Pierce, Alex Brink, or Joey Elliott. But the part that's really starting to bother me is the Bombers seem to get whinier and whinier and whinier about losing players. It's as if they didn't even watch Moneyball, because the first scene in Moneyball is Brad Pitt as Billy Bean arguing with Scott Boras over thinking he had a deal for Jason Giambi, but they got a better deal someplace else. And my question to you is that just part of football? Is that just part of the game?
Well, I guess it is part of the game, but I think where the Bombers are concerned, they feel like get jilted. You know, you make a date for the prom, and all of a sudden she gets a better deal, and then, well, we thought we had a deal here, and now for an extra $15,000, he's gone, and yeah, I guess it's a free
allegedly
market. Well, yeah, it's a free market situation, and he had the ability to do that. But the only thing I question about, did Carr go back to the Bombers and say, hey, do you want to counter the counter? I think he should have, or his agent should have. And had there been time, maybe something could have been arranged. On the other hand, maybe the Bombers just got stubborn and said, no, we had a deal, and let's stick with it. But
you know how these work. You've been around sports for 40 years, my friend. It's worked in hockey. It's worked the same way in baseball and football. You have an agent. The agent shops you around. Somebody makes you an offer. The agent says, okay, that seems like a really good deal. And quite often, it's no different than just selling radio advertising. You walk into somebody, they say, I really like that idea. It sounds really good. And then a week later, they say, nah, I don't have the money. I can't do it. The same things happen here. It is what free agency is. You are a free agent. You check the market. And the reality is he got the deal he wanted from the Edmonton Eskimos, thought that was the place to go. Maybe liked Derek Tillman more than he liked Joe Mack. Maybe he liked Kavis Reed as a head coach more than Paul LaPolice. And the reality is, what you're saying is dead right. It's the whole prom thing. There's no question about that. Because I think the Bombers thought, hey, look, we went to the Grey Cup last year. Why wouldn't you want to play with us? But Greg Carr obviously took the money and went west.
Well, the only thing is, too, with Greg Carr, how much can you commit? I mean, how many games has he missed in the last couple of years? Is he injury prone, or is it just a one-shot deal? And
but he was tremendous in the playoffs.
Yeah, he was tremendous, and he's the kind of guy that you got to have, and like you say, a big target and a valuable guy when he's there. He's just not always there.
He wasn't the shocker to me, though. The shocker was Oramacion. He's a Winnipeg guy. Went to the U of M. He gets a better deal from Edmonton. I can't imagine that the Blue Bombers would let go a good Canadian defensive lineman to the Edmonton Eskimos, who was a Winnipeg guy to start with.
Yeah, and it's good to keep people, obviously, good to keep people here who belong here, and that would seem to have been a very comfortable fit. But again, you talk about it, he had the opportunity to go elsewhere, got a better deal. Maybe he's got some kind of a deal going on there, too, that was more attractive than what he had here. Who knows? Now,
they're going to lose Brandon Labatt. Looks like he's going to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, another outstanding player, but an offensive lineman. It's great that you've signed Alex Brink and Buck Pierce and Joey Elliott. You've got your quarterback spot locked right down. But without an offensive line, the quarterback could be moved.
You got to protect him. You got to, and that certainly lowers the value of a quarterback if he's going to get hit all the time. So yeah, losing Labatt could be a problem.
Now you've got your quarterbacks, but you've lost some serious players. You're going to lose another pretty serious player. Is this Bomber team worse off than it was last year to start this season, or do you think Joe Mack is going to go out and find the guys he needs?
That's $1 million question right now. And, the situation is they're pretty comfortable. I mean, the building is going to be sold out. They got a brand new facility. And I think that maybe buys them a little bit of time in that
well,
regard.
In September. Anyway.
But yeah, so September. They're going to start the season a little bit late as far as the home games are concerned. But yeah, I guess it depends as much as anything on the quarterback. You talked about the quarterback situation. Again, you talk about health and Buck Pierce. How long does he hang in this year? Is he going to quit being macho and actually take a slide once in a while, like every other quarterback, including the great ones like Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning and Eli Manning and the rest of them do? Or is he going to be macho all the time and get hurt?
It's going to be a big season for the Bombers. We'll talk more about it. We're going to come back with part 2 of our Winnipeg segment here on Major Misconduct. We'll come back and talk about the Winnipeg Jets. You are watching the greatest sports show in the entire world, and we're live at the Sal's on Leland in Winnipeg. We'll be right back.